And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Welcome. Can y'all believe it's Friday? We're all another day older, and this week has flown by. October the 7th is where we are. Not long until Halloween. It's right around the corner. Getting ready for a Halloween parade in Meridian. That's coming up. We'll tell you about that this morning at 8 as we go into details. Can hardly wait. Kids get excited over that. It's the one time a year they get to be a kid and get some free candy. Let them enjoy. I know there's some bad folks out there, but together I think we can make it work for everyone. Have a good time. I remember it well as a kid. I enjoyed it. Hope you'll let yours do that as well. So how are you today? Lots going on in the world. Probably more world news today than it is on a local level. Kind of slowed down. This did catch my eye a little bit ago. As we think of our friends in Florida, I don't know if you've seen this yet. It just caught my eye out of the corner of it this morning when I was scrolling through news and information. Fox News reporting that firefighters are having, a difficulty time. I never even thought of this as we show you this from Fox News. I posted this just a moment ago. Electric cars are exploding from the hurricane, from water damage. So they've got new fires that are starting. I didn't realize that. I guess it has something to do with the batteries after getting wet and getting corrosion. Multiple cars like that catching on fire. Learn something new every day. Let's see what all we have going on. A few things that are happening in the community this morning that I wanted to bring up that are going to be happening. This is this morning as we take a look at a few of the events. The Police Benevolent Association is having their scramble this morning, a 4-person scramble. They've been doing it for quite some years. Now, they urge you to bring your golf cart because it was such a success. They didn't realize it, and there's limited golf carts at Lakeview. It's 28th annual. It's a lot of years, and it goes to help a great cause across the Meridian area with the Meridian Police Benevolent Association. Appreciate it if you go out and help those guys out. Don't forget a yard sale tomorrow at Lakemont. They've all got together for that. They'll have a raffle and a lot of family items being sold there. They're trying to restore the lake there. I don't know if you've passed by lately, but the lake's run dry. Absolutely nothing going on there. So if you're looking for a great deal, they probably have something for you there. And then up on 39 on Sunday, they're going to have a chili cook-off. If you're interested in that, go by and check them out. We got this in from the Reserve Association branch. It's located there on 39 on the right-hand side. Chili and football judging. It all starts at 2 o'clock. You can enter between 12 and 2. And then, of course, at the end of it, you can buy chili and eat all you want for $10. Chili's good. The cooler, the better, isn't it? Really enjoy those get-togethers where we have those. I always have. So hope you'll enjoy that. On the way this morning, we're going to tell you about some road closures that may affect your travel of where you go. It does happen. We got a bridge out. I'll tell you about that in a moment. And as always, we welcome for all the outlying communities that are in the area to let us know what's going on in your town. If you've got a community event, let us know. Inbox me here on Facebook, or you can email it to me at scottyray1969@aol.com, or send it through Sam Media on the website. Any way you can get to it, we would appreciate it. As we've started our new program, it's time to check in on this. This morning, as we head to Collinsville, a little bit about being a parent, being a father. Let's check in and see what the preacher man has to say today.
As a father of 5 kids, I've heard the phrase, "I'm hungry" or "I'm thirsty" innumerable times over the years. Sometimes it's like, dude, we just got up from the table. You can't be hungry. You can't be thirsty. But if my children were actually hungry or thirsty, I'd do everything in my power to make sure they were filled with good food and drink. You see, the drive in the heart of a parent reflects the heart of our Heavenly Father who longs to fill us with good things. Jesus promises in Matthew 5:5 that God will gladly fill to satisfaction those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. Is that what you long for? Righteousness? Then God says, satisfaction guaranteed. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. If you like that, we're going to repost that here in just a little bit where you can rewatch it. Some of us miss it from time to time, but we'll make that available. As I mentioned, there's a bridge out. It's closure. They done an inspection and decided that it was just well, unsafe as we head here to the map. Let me show you here. This is going to be Murphy Road, right there. This is in between Highway 11 and 20, right there, Murphy Road. So if you travel in that area, keep that in mind. Reroute yourself. We got that information yesterday from Lauderdale County, so be careful. Keep it in mind. This did catch my eye. I know it's a little off, but as we talk about crime a lot of times across America, in cities that seem to, well, no longer really care about the citizens. At least that's the way I take it. That may not be the best way to word it, but they've defunded the police. Tyson Food, the folks that make Jimmy Dean sausage, you know who I'm talking about? They're packing up. They're getting their suitcases. They're backing out of Chicago. They're moving their headquarters to Arkansas. Should be a strong statement. Now, there's other companies that are also looking at this. It's just become, well, unsafe for their employees, and they're making a move, the best way I read between the lines of all that, but they're going to be headed to Arkansas. Something to keep in mind if you're a CEO, however it is you run the companies, keep this in mind, make the right decisions for your employees. Important thing. We had an accident yesterday, Highway 493, just out of Meridian. Y'all have all gone by Grace Baptist Church. It's right there in the curve. As we pull this up to take a look, this is where it happened. Let me zoom in on this. You can take a look there. It was a one vehicle. I used two in that, but it was actually a one vehicle accident as we look at this. And a big thank you, as you'll see all these folks here in the background. They stopped to help. A man was in the car. Fortunately, not life-threatening, but as we all know, that curve is sharp. He ran off in the ditch there. I think he's going to be okay, but again, not life-threatening is what I was told from that accident yesterday afternoon. But again, a big thank you to everyone that pulled over and helped. It's good to see that people still care and will help when they need to. Appreciate y'all doing that. Donna Roseman, how are you? I see Miss Joyce Gressett. LaWanda is up. Miss Deborah Rawson. Y'all look good today. I brought this up yesterday and get a chance to glance over this. Oliver Construction, which is located in Meridian, just off of Highway 45 North. This will be at Hawkins Crossing. It's a shortcut in between Highway 45 and Highway 11, like if you were going over to Buffalo Wild Wings from Highway 45, right down that road there. And here it is. This is the story that we mentioned. Oliver Construction. It's been burglarized twice within a week. Now, I've got video here of the culprits, and this is the pickup truck they stole from them. Truck has not been found. A 20-foot trailer taken. Night before last, they hit them again. That's twice within 1 week. I don't think they actually got away with anything that second time, but hey, it sure is tough to try to make a living, people taking things that you've got. Keep that in mind. If you happen to see that truck, call the Meridian Police Department or the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department. And we mentioned this while we were live yesterday morning, that there had been an attempted break-in. Folks being bad. We seem to see an increased amount of crimes being committed by that younger generation that have not even made it to 18, juveniles. That is the case that we found out at the Rock House. And I noticed that one of the comments on there was, of all the places you thought you could break into, the Rock House is, well, not that place as we pull this up. But they attempted that. Sheriff's deputy would spend hours chasing these fellas all through the woods behind the Rock House. There, you can read the whole story there. They would eventually circle out by Faith Baptist, out by the church, and then slip across 19 and then into the woods and then on to Old 8th Street Road. That's about when somebody called the Sheriff's Department and said, hey, those fellas you're looking for, I'm looking at them. They were quickly arrested. Now, we don't have names. They are juveniles. We'll wait to see what becomes of this, but charges have been pressed on this. You can't break in and try to take things that aren't yours. And I hope this sets an example for them. Shows others don't do this. We certainly hope so. We go to Tishomingo County next. A house caught on fire. And we go to the Sheriff's Department page there, Tishomingo County, as we pull this up. We got 2 old boys that are in jail this morning. They found a body inside a house. It was purposely set. These fellows have been charged with arson and murder. You read more about that at the Tishomingo County Sheriff's Department. And no, from the top of my head, I don't think I could spell that real quick. It'd take me a couple of times to get that right. It's one of those I'd have to really concentrate on to get that spelling correctly. It's like somebody throwing Waholic at you, or Sugarlock. And for those out-of-town folks that come through, that's a tongue twister to say, isn't it? Now, the next thing, and folks, if you're watching me, correct me, because I don't understand not everything that I'm reading here, to where a lawsuit is going to change how a police department does its business. Now, if you're, in my opinion, and this is my opinion, you correct me if I'm wrong, if you're breaking the law, you're breaking the law. If you pull up to a roadblock and they ask for your driver's license, I think you ought to do it. But there's a lawsuit in Jackson that is now going to limit what officers can do and how many roadblocks they can have. Seriously, this is going on here. A settlement was reached in federal court, a class action lawsuit against the police department and the police chief. The settlement calls for a ban on general checkpoints and limits and arrest and towing if a drivers are ticketed for a traffic violation. Now, okay, maybe I can understand being the car being towed. If you could pull it into a parking place and a friend come pick that up, I can understand that, because that's going to be a towing company gets paid to come pick that up. You've got to pay that before you can get your car back. Maybe I understand that, but limiting the ability to check driver's license, telling you can't do it. I mean, that's how a lot of folks are taken off the street that are bad, that are criminals. They're noticed at checkpoints. I truly don't understand this. As we get into the breakdown of this, it goes on to say that under the settlement, the police will not be allowed to conduct checkpoints for general crime or deterrence, or to check for narcotics or outstanding warrants on passengers or drivers. So they couldn't run. Okay. It says also, if any person is stopped for any reason other than a driving offense, officers may give tickets, but may not make arrest. If they find the driver without auto insurance or without a suspended driver's license, they can't arrest them. Okay. Also, it says that during a roadblock, it must be identify another person to take into custody of the vehicle. Okay, I can agree with that. If you get pulled over, you're going they're taking you to jail for whatever reason, and you don't want your car towed, and your brother could come pick it up pretty quick. I get it. I understand that. JTP shall call a towing company only as a last resort. Now, here's where, and I don't understand who would get paid. It says the city must also ensure that the towing companies make towed vehicles retrievable within 24 hours. All right. What they're saying is if a company tows your car, they can't lock the gate on Friday night and you not get it till Monday. That's understandable. But it also goes on to say that the city of Jackson must also, if the car is picked up within 24 hours of being towed, that the towing company doesn't get paid, that there's no fee there. They're going to have a lot of people not like that. That's how they make their living on this. And again, I understand your car getting towed if you've got somebody to get picked up, but this is really the lawsuit. It boils down, if you've done nothing wrong, am I looking at this wrong? I mean, I have no problem at any roadblock I go through giving my driver's license, telling them who I am, and run a check on me. You're not going to find anything. I guess I truly don't understand this. This is almost if there's a law, let's bend it. Explain it if you disagree with me, please. Put that in the comments. I don't, because if you've broke the law, you've broke the law, no matter who you are, what you do. Okay, let's move on now. Jackson, Mississippi, a man has been shot to death inside his car. He was found outside of his house. They found him in his car, multiple bullet holes in that. I also mentioned that Jackson's got a lot of crime. Oh, well, let's go ahead and bring this up. Jackson, Mississippi. Someone was shot in road rage on I-55. Big crime problems, but let's make it to where the cops can't do their job. Noxubee County, we go north of here, we see that a man has been indicted for murder. Killed a 21-year-old young lady. He stood before jury, and they've convicted him. 21 years old. Let that sink in there. We see it in Gulfport. We don't have many details that our officer has been involved in a shooting at a Dollar General on the Gulf Coast. That's all we got at this point. Look to find out more on that. Shad White strikes again. You read this story this morning? And as Shad points out in this article, if you read this, he makes it very clear whether it's the largest scandal in the state of Mississippi or basically a thing of chewing gum. You've broke the law, they're coming for you. This time they have arrested the director of the Tunica County Airport. There he is, there. That's his mugshot. He was charging things, about $9,000 he's been ordered to repay using the credit card for personal use. Taxpayers' money. Again, he broke the law. He should go to jail. We're getting a little bit of a rebuttal. The Ole Miss graduate that was assumed dead, they have not found a body, and they arrested that young man who has filed a lawsuit saying, turn me loose, you haven't got anything. The law enforcement is saying, hang on, we haven't even presented this to the grand jury. Don't jump so fast. Just because we hadn't moved with full steam ahead doesn't mean we don't have a case. We'll see what becomes of that. He has been arrested. They have not come up with a body. And as we all know, if they did, that would be public by now. Do they probably have some leads? Yeah. I don't know the behind-the-scenes thing, but that's going to be a big one there. We see in Laurel a body has been found. They're telling us approximately 6 months to a year it's been there. It's a female, 200 block of Lindsay Avenue. We don't know who she is yet, and we see that hopefully some family will get some closure before long. Let's see, a man is wanted in the Macomb area, South Mississippi. Drive-by shooting, injured a child, shot into a car. 4-year-old, injured. They're looking for him. Hopefully they'll find him. It has gotten so dry. Have y'all seen this? That barges have been stuck in the Mississippi River. Now that's dry. We have no rain. Nothing's going in there. I think that cruise ship even had to pause for a little while. You know, the new one they put in Natchez has, I think, up to 350 passengers that goes up and down the river. Beautiful there. But it even had to stall there, and I think they refunded everybody their money. Here's something that is different that is coming to the Jackson area, a little delight, because I know in our area a lot of people love going out to Minnebucket Road to look at the lights, and through town we go to take the kids. But the amphitheater that is there, you'll be able to go over the holiday, the Brandon Amphitheater. You'll be able to go in there starting, November the 18th through January 1st. Lights. They got like 6 miles of lights wrapped through that, all types of things. It'll be $15 a car to go take the family and go through there. Interesting. That's new. We've never had that in this area before, not on that scale. It's supposed to be very big. Let's see. We go to, where else did we go this morning? Prentice, Mississippi. We got somebody robbed a bank there. He's been found guilty of that. Don't imagine that is going to be a nice sentence. As we go to Oxford, I'd never heard of this before, but a man has been banned for the second time since 2017 of even entering the county. He's been stalking the mayor. Him and the mayor don't agree on certain subjects. Kind of followed him around, made the mayor uneasy. He's been banned. Also been arrested, but he's banned. As we start looking at this, I don't know if everybody's paying attention to some of these headlines that are nationwide. It is getting very sticky, and I urge you to pay close attention to what's being said in the news with Russia. Biden, I even saw a headline is saying that the world is facing the possibility of an Armageddon. Y'all, this deal with Russia, as he keeps invading and saying he's going to use nuclear weapons. And the United States has already replied, if you do, we will retaliate. Just keep up with that. We could get into a big sticky mess before long. I do not doubt one single bit that man would do that. Putin, Russia, they're losing the war, and they don't like losing. Let's hope it does not come to that. I know that I've seen pictures that the United States is following subs that are nuclear submarines that have been launched. Did you see this yesterday at a Michigan hotel? Guy got into an argument with the clerk. Now, you got to remember, a clerk's trying to make their living, get by. They got a family come in today, and it's not their fault your bill had an issue or you didn't like it. He killed a clerk in Michigan over the bill. Anything can be worked out. If you're overcharged, somebody will straighten it out. Sometimes you're wrong. He went to his room and held up for hours, 7-hour standoff with police after he killed that clerk. That happened in Mississippi not long ago. Y'all remember? I think it was Byron, Mississippi, where we had somebody do that. The things that people do. Miss USA. Now, I don't know as much about Miss USA as Miss America. I think Miss America has been around forever. At least it was there when I was a kid, and then another one happened. But contestants got mad, walked off stage when Miss Texas was named. Don't get it, but they think it was rigged. I mean, it was like whoosh, off the stage. Shocked me. Another big headline this morning that we see is a stabbing happened yesterday in Las Vegas. I'm not sure if you saw this. This was on the lower key. It didn't get as much oomph as other things, but it was a stabbing. 6 people were stabbed yesterday in Las Vegas on the Strip. 2 have died. A person has been taken into custody. It just worries you. And I have to admit this, maybe y'all have before. I've seen him on television. I know he ran for president, Kanye West. I've never listened to his music. It's just not my type. But, you know, to each his own that love different types of music. Some people like blues. Some people like rap. Some people like country and classical music. I just cannot handle for anything. Whew. But Kanye, I admit, the most I've ever really known is that he ran for president. He did do a gospel show at Joel Osteen's big church, the mega church out in Texas. You know, the fellow with the big teeth. Can't miss him. But he did an interview, and I only watched about 4 or 5 minutes of it. But boy, how well spoken that man is. Did y'all listen to that? I urge you to today. He didn't even have a lot of blinking of the eyes. He was well spoken. I only heard him say one You know how people do that when they're talking? Man believes in God after listening to him. If he is everything that he portrayed in that interview, and he says in it that, you know, the media tries to portray him for something that he's not. It is a good interview. I urge you to listen to it. Make your own decisions of what you think about Kanye. He's made a lot of headlines before. But he says the media is after him and they do their best to make him look bad. I don't doubt that. But watch that interview if you get a chance today that Tucker did with him. Honestly, it seemed to be from the heart. I think he means well. I really do. I could be wrong. If y'all disagree with me, let me know. We'll be right back. We're going to look more at this forecast to let you know what's coming up this weekend. We'll be right back with that. As the days get hotter, Sanders Gas reminds you to get your air conditioner tuned up. Sanders Gas can repair or replace your whole unit, whichever you need. Talk to Sanders about a tankless water heater now and never run out of hot water. Find out how easy and affordable it is to cook on gas stoves. And those backyard barbecues are coming. Don't run out of gas. Get yours refilled today. Sanders Gas, since 1946, 611 26th Avenue South, 601-693-4054. The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're building, or conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group. Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. So glad that you're here with us. A lot of comments about the Jackson issue there of the lawsuit and limiting the Jackson police officers of what they can do. Kevin went on to say there, if you don't have driver's license, if you don't have insurance, that is the law. That is intent then. I agree with you. It does make you shake your head. Of pretty soon, it'll be changed to where there are no laws. Do what you want. And then people will be upset because they won't figure out how they're being hurt. The laws do protect criminals already. It's getting worse and worse every day, y'all. But that's my thoughts on that. Let's see here. As we glance down some more of those, Jeff said the reason that story in Las Vegas didn't make the headlines, well, it wasn't a gun. You're probably right. They make a bigger deal out of that than someone who uses another object. It's bad, though, either way, isn't it? Appreciate the comments on that. All right, let's get into the forecast this morning and find out what we've got laid out for the weekend.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we turn to today's record highs and lows, it was 16. That would be 6 years ago. 94 was the high. The record low was back in 64. I wasn't even thought of yet. A cool 34 degrees back in 64. That was the year of that big snow, wasn't it? Sunny today is what we've got as we look across this. 85 is where we'll go, even up through Philadelphia. Not bad. 84, maybe a cloud as you near Columbus, but still 83 there at Stark Vegas. To the south, it's going to be warmer. Hattiesburg, you're looking at 87 all the way across the board to Natchez. As we head east over to Birmingham, 84 today. We'll see 84 as well there in Demopolis and even up to Livingston there. On up through Geiger, Alabama, y'all have a great day. I believe Geiger is going to be closer to 85 as we go to Troy in those areas, 87. Now, again, as we've talked about this each and every day, be careful what you burn. It's dry. We haven't had the rain, and we see that the Mississippi Delta is one of the worst places to think about burning. Don't do it. It's discouraged. Even up through Columbus, Winston County in this yellowed area, a 1. Again, there are no burn bans, but it's highly discouraged to do that. Hold off. It'll rain eventually, and you'll be able to burn your brush pile. As we look across here, next 6 to 10 days, here's the outlook. We're kind of sort of in the normal. We see a smaller heat wave making its way from Louisiana towards the Mississippi area. Got some cooler temperatures behind that. We'll see what happens. And here at how it flows today, 85 to 86 for a high in our area today, down to 55 tonight. As you see, no chance of rain. Saturday, tomorrow, perfect weather as we'll hit 78, and it's cooler over the weekend. 75 on Sunday as we head to church. Perfect. Now, as we go back into Monday, we'll set it, somewhere around 82 for a high. And grabbing the attention of the deer hunters, this had one point been at 50%. The most we're going to be able to give you there is 30%. That Thursday and Friday of next week is, well, I hate to say it, your best chance. If you want to get the seed in the ground and take a run at it. Thursday, drop from a 50 to a 30% chance there. Now, as we move forward this, look at this. That's it. You got 17% chance, 21% on the 19th. Probably not going to happen. So as we back up and look at that again, we look to next week, have it in the ground by Wednesday. Hopefully by Thursday, you'll get a little bit there, a small chance of it. Now, we're a week out. It could change a little bit as we look at that. What's going to happen as we look at these temperatures is when we're looking at that, we pull that back up to the 21st. We're into the 70s. Look at the 14th from there. And then it gets really nice here about the 18th, 71, 72, but it is sunshine all the way through that. Not going to be much rain at all. All right, here's our tropics update. And we have 2 tropical depressions. This is 12 and this is 13. This is headed towards Central America as we look at this further. Winds this morning at 35 miles an hour. It's moving west at 15 miles an hour. Now 12, almost identical. 35 miles an hour moving west-northwest at 17 miles an hour. Not a threat to the United States. And again, this looks to be that it will cut across here. There is one spaghetti model that shows that it could come up and come back out into the Gulf, but it's one way early on that, not expected, but I thought it would mention that it is out there. We'll look at radar here just a second. I'll show you those strings. Best time to fish today as we go over to Chet's Paint and Body. Here's what he tells us. 11 o'clock today. Be out there on the water between 11 and 1. Get a little break away from the office there. Great time to do that. Our wind's going to be light west-northwest wind, becoming north 5 to 10 in the afternoon. That's how the wind will blow today. Now, let's pull back up radar where you have a good look here of what we've got across the nation. Let's pull that up as I try to hurry. I didn't have it marked, did I? Here's our radar this morning as we pull up Meridian Honda radar. This is the storm that is headed across there. And as you'll see, there is a slight chance it could go back out. Well, watch this. Let's turn on, see if we still got those models depicting that. As you'll see there, you got just barely something showing. Most is showing this going that way. But it could hook and go into the Gulf, and we all know that things could rebuild. We'll watch it, be on top of that. But again, as of this morning, right now is where she's sitting here. Just passed through Aruba. The Gusts are at 46. Nothing different on that. The millibar is at 1,004. Not a huge threat. And then we go back out here off the coast of Africa. Here's that other one, that tropical depression. Almost the same. Winds of gust of 46, the same. As we look across the nation, Mississippi looks great. A little bit of fog in between Biloxi and Mobile if you're down celebrating cruising the coast there. A little bit of fog there in the area there, Highway 90. Be careful on that. Well, that's a quick look at everything this morning. We're going to be back in 1 hour from now. I hope you'll join us. Candace will be in. We'll kick off the morning show. We look forward to it, and thank y'all for dropping by. We appreciate it. Ray, good morning there from Florida. We'll see you back in 1 hour.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: